the day that we, and it.
Hey Zoe, I swear you gonna fuck this man. Oh. I say that cause I come in on something so smooth like feelings I can't explain, with memories I can't exchange, cause it'll take 3 years.
I'm gonna get much bigger with this child because I'm already showing. But I'm pregnant. So I've been dying to do this video and now I'm gonna do it. It's been a super long road to pregnancy. From a miscarriage in November to thinking I was pregnant early April, but not being pregnant.
Water, I'm ready.
To thinking I was pregnant in April, but not actually being pregnant.
Hey y'all.
So I wrote down
Let's have it.
early May my first symptoms. And so I'm just gonna go over them really quickly because we do have to go, as you can see. So May 3rd is when I took the pregnancy test. So I would say probably starting 2 weeks before that is when my symptoms started. No, I'm sorry. April 19th was my last period. And so I actually went to the hospital because I thought I was pregnant before that. And then I started bleeding horribly. So then it turned out I wasn't pregnant. I don't know. It was weird. So off of that period, I had some weird symptoms going on anyway. So when I started having these pregnancy symptoms, I didn't think anything of it and I had no idea what was going on. I thought it was part of this horrible period I had had. So Cliff and I, did the thing. April 28th, I wrote it in my flow calendar because I was actually ovulating. But because I thought I had just had a miscarriage, my nurse said, well, it's probably not likely that you'll get pregnant right now. Just be patient. Cool. So now I've got in my mind this epic period, which I thought might have been a miscarriage or maybe not. And then the nurse telling me, well, you know what? You're probably not going to get pregnant right now. So wasn't even really thinking about it. All right. So all of that to say, first noticeable symptom was cramping in waves, which is normal if you're on your period, but sometimes I guess pregnancy cramps are different. Like they're not as intense. And mine weren't that intense, but they were constant and they were annoying. My lower abdomen and my back were very achy. I had headaches that would come and go. I was so tired. And actually it got worse as the time went on. Like now I'm taking epic naps. So the fatigue got worse, but it was still present. In the beginning, my nose was so runny. Like I would have to get up in the middle of the night and blow my nose because there was so much mucus just constantly dripping from my joint. Okay. I had a thick creamy discharge, which I know TMI, but it was like making me feel like I was always moist down there. And now I discharge anyway with my period, but this was like thick and white. And I think that was what was like, I was like, that's weird. I did have frequent urination, but it stopped after that 2-week period. So I don't know what that was about. Everybody talks about their boobs getting big and sore, and that's like the first thing. My boobs did not get sore, and my boobs did not get big. They're starting to get bigger now, kind of, but I didn't have this like huge boob transformation. I'm now 4 months pregnant, and I'm just now getting like the veins and the drop and the weight in my boobs. So that was not a first symptom for me. I've had consistently very weird dreams. very vivid, very strange dreams almost every night since conception. So if you're having some really weird dreams, that could be a sign. I know it's weird, but I think that could be a sign. If you have a child, like my daughter just turned 5. She has been an emotional hurricane ever since. And I've heard this before, that if you have a child already with your second pregnancy, sometimes your young child can pick up on it or their emotions start changing. Pay attention to that, because I 1,000% believe that to be true now. And so, yeah, those are kind of my first, very, very, very first symptoms. Like, this is not 4 months in. This is like 2 weeks in. So, these symptoms persisted, over that 2 week span. And so finally I was like, okay, May 7th, actually, I know I said May 3rd in the beginning of this, but that's not true. May 7th, I went ahead, I got up in the middle of the night after one of those epic weird dreams. I think it was like maybe 4 in the morning. And I was just like, you know what? I just stumbled out of bed. I was like, I'll just take a pregnancy test. I had no intentions of doing so or any thought to do so. I guess it was more so just a feeling. So that's another point I wanted to make. Like, if you feel like you are, a lot of times our intuition will tell us, so listen to that. But I will show you the little test I took, but it was clear as day. And in my miscarriage pregnancy and this last time that I thought I was pregnant, I saw faint lines in them both. But this one was like, you're pregnant. So, yeah. So those were my earliest symptoms. Definitely share with me any weird symptoms that you had. I did not have implantation bleeding also. So don't think that if you didn't have implantation bleeding, you're not pregnant. You definitely still could be, because it doesn't happen to all of us. And if you are trying to get pregnant and can't, my best advice to you is just let go and let the universe, and it will definitely happen when it's meant to happen. I know I hated people telling me that when I really wanted to get pregnant, but it is so true, because the moment I stopped thinking about it is the moment it happened. Okay, and those are my symptoms. So I gotta go, but have a blessed day.